Unfortunately, just one inappropriate, offensive, or even questionable post can put your reputation at risk. That's why you have Life Brand, a tool built specifically to help your social media mature with you.
Nothing is more personal than your body, which makes treating it our privilege. At Mainline Health, when you're at your most vulnerable, we see it. We see hope. We see options. And in your loneliest moments, we go out of our way to see you. Because what is healthcare if it's not human?
Our team of top-notch orthopedic experts are here to get you back to doing what you love.
To human. And by Life Brand. Protect your future from your social media past.
Just about ready to start the second half here at Hagan Arena. Halftime stats between St. Joe's and Princeton. Look at the bottom there, Dr. John Giannini. 7 Tiger turnovers.
Yeah, St. Joe's quickness is bothering Princeton, and St. Joe's is doing a lot right. They're clogging the lane, taking away twos, contesting threes. Their only problem is they're not making their own threes, only 23%.
Take a look at our first half highlights.
Princeton started out raining threes, getting out to an early lead, and the common theme, the ball moving from side to side. Get the defense in rotation from help back to the ball, kick opposite, and give yourself enough time to get open looks, and that's how Princeton got off to an early lead. But soon after that, the quickness of St. Joe's takes over. And one of the forms, pick and rolls and drives. When you help on those St. Joe's guards, the big guys are open, reject the ball screen, Greer to the bucket, and St. Joe's quickness has been an issue for Princeton.
Princeton will start with the basketball. It's Blake Peters, Matt Alonco, Zach Martini, Xavier Lee, and Caden Pierce. Anthony Finkley, Rasheer Fleming, Cam Brown, Lynn Greer, Eric Reynolds for St. Joe's.
It's a great matchup.
Yeah, he missed most of the first half with those 2 personals. Got Peters, anticipation. Fleming almost jumped that. Instead, Pierce with 3 to shoot, right into the 3.
Tough shot by the power forward, Pierce. And Finkley's defense was so impressive on that possession because Pierce wanted to post him, but really couldn't. And they had to make a tough shot at the end of the clock.
And that's Caden Pierce's first field goal. Finkley draws in the double. Round the horn. Greer with 10 to shoot. Cam Brown steps in. And Finkley bats that rebound to himself. Stayed with the play, but off balance.
Such a great effort. Just don't shoot if you're not comfortable.
Peters and Pierce, good hard hedge there for Finkley. Up to what's a tie and 5 lead changes. Peters drills that.
And that's a big time screen. It's a tricky Princeton action. It looks like a screen away by Peters, and it ends up being a fade screen at the last second.
That's the 3rd 3 now for Blake Peters. Greer trying to shake him off, steps out of it. Cam Brown steps in and drills that. St. Joe's back to within 1. Thanks to the second triple for the grad student.
3-point barrages, both ends, so many skilled shooters.
Martini with the flash, shot clock inside 20 for the Tigers. Reynolds with a good close there on Peters.
Well, Finkley's defense for a freshman is really exemplary. When I saw him hold his own against Eric Dixon, I knew that they had something pretty quick with Finkley.
Yeah, their whole front court was good that night. Lee, pretty good in the Princeton backcourt.
I mean, a step back 3 over a 6'9" player, that's just insane. A great individual play with great individual skill by Lee.
13
wow.
now for Xavier Lee. Greer navigating the baseline, foul on Princeton.
Right here, you're going to see a tricky, there's a drive and kick, end of the clock for Pierce, and there's the tricky screen. It looks like Peters is going to set the screen, then he receives it at the last second. Now this one's really tough. Are you kidding me? Over 6'9", stepping back. Boy, you just tip your hat on that one.
Game high 13 for Xavier Lee. Greer left that short. Finkley again. Alter in that rebound, but out of bounds. He touched it last. St. Joe's by as many as 5. Princeton as many as 9. Tigers by 4 now.
Princeton not scoring inside, very few twos, and when they've made a run, it's been completely reliant on threes.
Lee, as you say it, changes it.
And another tough one. I mean, so the great ones, and Reynolds does it, and Lee's doing it. They not only make the good shots, they make the tough ones. And to make runners over defensive help, really tough. As tough as that step back he made.
5 second-half points now for Lee. Reynolds falling away, was backing up like that was going in. It almost went down. Alako through traffic with the kick out. It's Peters. Got Greer up in the air. And Fleming bumped into. That's 3 on Caden Pierce.
Big factor in the game. Remember, Princeton led early, and Pierce was in the game. Pierce does a lot of things in terms of screening and defense that don't always show up in the stat sheet, but show up on the scoreboard. So that's really significant.
And here comes Jack Scott right at the horn on cue.
Now, Jack Scott, though, had a terrific first half. 3 for 3 from the field, 7 points. Sophomore, very versatile at 6'5", can play the point. And we'll see if Scott can stem the tide based on Pierce's foul trouble.
You miss so much, though, with him in terms of steals, block shots, his passing. Caden Pierce does a lot. Brown spins that off. Rebound caroms to Xavier Brown. Still trying for the tap. And Hawks couldn't get it to go. And there's a foul in frustration.
Yeah, that might be the easiest shot of the game. And just a missed layup. Great effort on the glass.
Good news. Rasheer Fleming only his first. No real foul trouble on the St. Joe's side. For Princeton, you have Lee with 2, Pierce with 3.
Now you lose rebounding, a lot of rebounding with Pierce not in the game, but Scott, better three-point shooter.
Yeah, you're right. And Lee just travels here. 8th Princeton turnover, second one for Lee.
Lee's had so much success driving. I think he thought he's capable of doing anything, but you can't do it with the extra steps.
Well, unless you play in the 3-letter league. 4 minutes into the second half.
He might do that someday, along with Reynolds and maybe a couple others.
Reynolds, quick first step to the basket. 9 now for him.
So it's really simple. It's St. Joe's points in the paint off penetration or Princeton's three-point shooting. Who's going to end up with the higher total?
Good rotation here by Quachik. Princeton shot clock inside 15. Good D by Reynolds.
Wow.
And Cam Brown, hand to the passing lane, got the deflection. Xavier Brown off the bounce. That's a third on Xavier Lee.
St. Joe's quickness has been a factor in this game. Getting to the rim, points in the paint, but Lee counters with a dangerous step back, and the Tigers are up 4.
And Lee going to have to sit with what's now 3 personals. Caden Pierce, though, they trade 3 fouls for 3 fouls.
1-3-1, and Pierce is a menace at the top of the 1-3-1. You see how high they have to lob the ball over Pierce?
Look at the flash. Quachik missed it the first time, second time, third time. St. Joe's to within 2.
Quachik's persistence makes the third time the charm. Of course, I'm sure he'd like to make the layup the first time, but nonetheless, the persistence pays off.
4 now off the bench for the native of Horsau, Poland. Dalen Davis back in for Princeton wearing number 22 out there with Alako and Pierce, Peters and Martini. Alako blocked by Fleming. That's off Alako and out of bounds to St. Joe's.
St. Joe's has done a terrific job protecting the paint. There really isn't much opportunity for Princeton outside of the three-point arc.
Second block of the afternoon, by the way, for Rasheer Fleming. He came in with about 1.5 a game. Good enough for top 10 of the conference. Reynolds, right to the basket, score the layup, +1.
Designed isolation, trips formation on the right-hand side. Reynolds alone in the left corner. They throw it to him and give him plenty of space. Watch all the space Reynolds has on this. The whole side to himself, and he uses his explosive quickness. And St. Joe, it's really St. Joe's quickness at this point against Princeton's three-point shooting.
And lead is back toward the Hawks side. First one since the beginning of the half when they were up 33-31. Pierce. Quachik, decent D, but Pierce is good.
Tough shot. Help you got an extra hand in there.
5 now for Caden Pierce. Fleming steps in. That pinball's off of Davis's hands. Shot clock back to 20. And did Brown step on the sideline? Yeah, he's done that now on either side.
So frustrating. And the thing that's hard to understand as a coach is they drill on corner threes. They drill on corner reps every day. So you would think the footwork would be automatic and you would avoid that because it is something that players at this level have thousands of reps on. You just have to officiate it in drill work, make them aware.
Second turnover for Brown, fourth one for St. Joe's.
Going back to Pierce again. This time they get the double.
Fleming got some hands in there. Lee back in with the 3 personals and threw it right into the arms of Xavier Brown.
Brown's recovery speed is amazing.
Brown steps into the triple. And Peters grabs the board. Princeton winning the glass, but barely. 23-21, up by 1 on the scoreboard. As advertised between these two, Alako got that block. That's a third one for Fleming. And at this end, a little too much.
The pass was good, he just didn't have his steps down. But it's amazing when you see a 6'9" guy routinely block jump shots. Great shot blockers, they'll block shots at the rim. But blocking shots on threes, that is like pterodactyl length, unbelievable closeout speed.
I like how you went prehistoric there.
You don't see it in modern times very often. Maybe that's why.
Yeah, Rasheer Fleming coming in, one of the best block percentages in the country, inside the top 60. And they measure that on 2-point field goals. Has blocked a couple threes today.
St. Joe's recovery speed is outstanding.
Scott with the air ball. Martini the save. Lee corralled it. 5 on the shot clock. Lee going to have to bail it out. Desperation. And hit nothing. That's a shot clock violation.
St. Joe's defensive schemes are really good, but what's outstanding is their foot speed, their ability to help and recover. They could be in the lane, take away a 2, and recover back out to a shooter as well as any team I've seen this year.
Yeah, there's a reason that their defensive numbers where they are. A top 50 defense in the country in terms of efficiency coming in. Greer. Inside 10 to shoot. Got the spin on Scott off the window.
Big time post play by Greer. Love posting the guards.
Pendulum swings back towards St. Joe's. Martini steps in and back to Princeton.
It's 3s against 2s.
8 now for Zach Martini.
And here's the zone, and the key again is Pierce at the top. Look at how much St. Joe's has to lob the ball over the head of Pierce.
Reynolds in rhythm.
Love it. Attack the 1-3-1 towards the baseline. Not back and forth, sideline to sideline, lobbing it over Pierce. Those guards on the wing are smaller. Get it to the baseline where you can get a 3.
Pierce wanted Martini, threw it away.
St. Joe's aware of the backdoor cut, covering it, forcing the turnover.
Building is about to bust here at Hagan Arena. St. Joe's by 1. Come back.
team. They're 11 and a half minutes away from potentially a huge step towards Eric Reynolds and the program's goals for this season.
Yeah, 15 now. You see it, 27 straight double-figure games. You go all the way back to early January last year against Duquesne. That was the last time he wasn't in double figures. Special kid. Kacper Kłacik, Sean Simmons, Reynolds, Lynn Greer, and Xavier Brown for St. Joe's. Simmons with a flash, the up fake right to the basket, trying to drop the hammer. Lee. And now Alonco, they'll get into their set. That's the 7'5" wingspan for Sean Simmons. Just couldn't finish.
This is the dunk, but he defended that pick and roll well. And excellent defense by Reynolds. We're praising his offense. Well, that defense deserves some praise right there, forcing the miss against Lee.
Student section that's almost packed to the gills. 54th Airborne letting them know. Jack Scott, Caden Pierce, Xavier Lee, Madalaco, and Martini from Princeton. Reynolds, curl. Simmons tracked down the offensive rebound.
Simmons didn't make that dunk, but he's helping out pick and rolls, getting second shots, contributing.
Greer got the baseline, the layup, and one. Look at this spin move.
Love guards in the post. He feels the defense's body and leg whips. Mata hooked on that. Coach Henderson will not like that a whole bunch. But I love inverting your offense. Have your big guys outside as shooters, post a big, strong guard. It's really hard to defend.
Greer now with 15. He's 1 for 2 today from the stripe. I've said a bunch this year. He is St. Joe's X Factor in terms of the Hawks' success in March.
Guards the other team's best player. There you see him on Lee right there. Excellent assist to turnover ratio. He'll make his threes. He'll run the point. I think you're right. You have most valuable and most important. Greer may be most important because of the defensive piece and all his offensive responsibilities.
You get a foul here on Kłacik. So second team foul.
So the reason he got that foul is St. Joe's is trying to pressure Pierce. Since he has the ball so much, pressuring him right there, forcing him to handle the ball further out and pass under duress affects the Tigers.
Lee, Simmons rotated, got the block. Xavier Brown, right to the basket, scoring +1.
Athleticism of Simmons, one fantastic freshman and another fantastic freshman with unmatched quickness, getting the old school and one. This Hawks team is a perfect blend of veteran players like Cam Brown and Reynolds, along with this super exciting freshman class. We just saw the talent of Xavier Brown and Simmons.
And gets the three-point play.
Boy, Simmons' athleticism is everything people told us about.
Largest lead of the afternoon for St. Joe's.
There, look at the denial of Pierce. Forcing, that's really bothering the Princeton offense. Look, Pierce is almost at half court, and now he's got to pass under the duress.
Peters, Davis, big shot. Dalen Davis.
Freshman from both teams taking center stage.
Well, what an afternoon it's been. Have a Sunday, folks. St. Joe's by 4. 9 minutes and change left here in the second half.
The potential of this Princeton team and how good they are analytically. Interesting, 22, the freshman Davis. The coaching staff speaks about him much the way they talked about Lee last year. They really think he's dynamic.
Yeah,
Post it up.
Big time potential. Greer over the front of the rim. Just get out of his way.
It's just ridiculous. Greer's post game is at the highest level right now. Wow. And these are physically strong Princeton defenders that he is just backing down. He is winning the position battle, getting the ball outside the lane, and inching his way to the rim for the high percentage shots.
How about this stat line for him today? 18 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 3 steals, no turnovers.
Doing winning things. Astounding. And maybe the 0 turnovers most impressive of all.
And St. Joe's only 5 of them as a team. Davis going to give Greer a taste of his own medicine, this time off the bounce.
Once again, this time last year, only the Princeton coaches knew how good Lee is. Right now, people don't know a lot about Davis. The Princeton coaches are saying Davis is the next dynamic one.
And Whitney M. Young High School in Chicago was their first ever 4-year starter, which says a lot if you know anything about that program. Produced Jaleel Okafor, Quentin Richardson, a lot of good ones. All lost out of bounds here. It'll stay at this end. 9 on the shot clock. St. Joe's going for what's the 5th straight in the series, 5th straight overall. And perhaps what you could call the biggest home game of the Billy Lang era. Already a signature win over Villanova, who looked pretty good last night against a top 5 scoring defense in the country at UCLA.
One play away from winning at Kentucky, and the St. Joe's team would be nationally ranked.
Brown, excellent find. Klutchik, open and cashes in. 6-3 of the basketball game for St. Joe's. First one for Klutchik. Lead is back to their largest. Alako probing. Student section trying to add to the decibel level, and Davis goes right over the top of Reynolds. High-level basketball game. And timeout on the floor. Guard play, John Giannini, especially in March.
Well, we're talking guards with muscle, guards with post games, going, absorbing contact, finishing, and putting the Hawks on top. Yeah, but you know, Lee last year was very similar. You know, came deeper off the bench and was brought along behind some older players.
And didn't score more than 12 in a game.
Exactly. So Davis right on track to give the Ivy League headaches as a combination with Lee for the next 2 years after this.
Yeah, hard to believe that they were picked second in the Ivy League behind Yale. And obviously credit to what Coach Jones has done up in New Haven.
Well, they're different. Yale had a bunch of people coming back, and Princeton lost 3 starters.
Brown, right off the window, continues to be on cue in terms of freshmen.
Xavier Brown has a different level of quickness.
10 now for him. 6th career double-figure game. In a career that's almost 9.5 games old. Alako stepped in, buries it.
Hey, these are good basketball teams, and they understand where the open person is, how to get the ball from one side to another. The big guys are versatile. They can all make threes and pass. They could all switch, and there we see it again.
Simmons, one more. Klutchik with the hop. Somebody's open. It's Reynolds for 3. And Lee down with the rebound. Chance to tie potentially for the Tigers. Alako.
Better help on him.
And good strip. Tied up. That arrow will go to St. Joe's.
Alako scores down here. And Reynolds knows that scouting report and rakes down on the ball and likely saves the Hawks from absorbing 2 more points from Princeton.
Really good minutes this afternoon for St. Joe's for Sean Simmons.
Tremendous minutes.
Just a couple of rebounds and a block, but some really good closeouts.
Exactly.
Klutchik got stripped.
With Davis really locking down on Reynolds.
And he just switched pivot feet. Can't do that.
But credit, that play was designed for Reynolds, and Davis, the freshman, blew it up. And what guts and confidence by Coach Henderson telling his freshman, hey, why don't you go guard that potential pro out there, that senior that's setting all those records, and Davis comes through.
Lee nearly traveled. Here's Davis. And he got stripped. Came Brown. Reynolds.
Wow, Pierce cutting off Reynolds at 6'7".
Yeah, you want to talk about an athlete. And Reynolds lost the handle on that, got deflected. Pierce towel. And I don't think Pierce thinks he I don't know that he did. I don't think he did.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
I don't think he did.
I have a feeling when we look at this, it's going to end up being Princeton's ball.
Yeah, and I think that, that's the right call.
Yeah, it was.
He gets it caught.
Yeah, there's the defense by Pierce.
He just
lost the ball.
Yep.
And what happened is he saw the defense rotating. It was going to be intercepted, and he tried to pull it back at the last second.
Lee missed the left hand, but there's Pierce. Princeton to within one.
Pierce, top 10 rebounder in the country. Relentless pursuit of the ball with leaping ability and strength.
7 for the younger brother of Indianapolis Colts wideout Alec Pierce. Spin cycle, Quachick, and couldn't finish. Princeton's last lead at 11:53, 47-45. A pair of ties, 10 lead changes. What we've been treated to today, and it has been a treat.
And here's the matchup. And
Alako for the lead. Nope. And Greer grabs the rebound, his 5th of the afternoon. And right to the basket on Lee. He goes. Watch it crashing in. Touch that last. Oh, no. There's a foul on the floor.
Another rejection. Watch the screens left, but he goes right. Hard drive. Just a scrum for the rebound. Greer's so good at going opposite the screen.
Oh, by the way, that was on Pierce. That was his 4th personal.
There were so many bodies flying around on that offensive defensive rebounding situation. You didn't really see the contact that they called. Free throw's huge here, obviously.
Caden Pierce not getting to make the impact on this game I think he would have liked.
And Quachick not a great free throw shooter at 46%.
St. Joe's is a team 5 for 7. And banked it.
As an opposing coach, that makes you crazy.
Well, you and I aren't stranger to bank shots in the last 8 days anyway.
Well, we saw, it was Lascelles, right?
Khalil Brantley.
Yeah, from half court. It's one thing to make in a half. You're not supposed to bank
free throws. Hey, still count just the same. This time, Quachick gets the second a little easier.
A little luck and a little skill.
And what an afternoon he's had. Matches a career high with 9. Sits down in favor of Rasheer Fleming. Inside 5 minutes, alongside the former LaSalle head coach, Dr. John Giannini, Matt Martucci. Davis off the dribble.
That's just ridiculous. That's a really tough contested shot.
Back-to-back double-figure games now for the freshman. Has 10 points all in the second half. And we get Fleming moving here.
Davis forces an illegal screen, doing it defensively. And here's the off. Listen, there's nothing wrong with that defense. Hand in the face, tough two. Davis's minutes are going to skyrocket into Ivy League play. There's no question. He's just taking it to a different level.
Peters with a tough catch. Lee, good close there by Greer.
Freshman matchup, love it.
Davis and Brown. Davis hits it. Wow. First Princeton lead since the 11:53 mark.
And he hasn't missed a shot. and they're tough ones. And it's a big moment. Kudos to Davis.
13 for Dalen Davis. For Princeton, all kinds of fired up. And for good reason. Tigers with 5 road wins. Could they get a 6th? 2-point game. Certainly matched the type of game that we've had here today at Hagan Arena. Dalen Davis put Princeton on his back. 13 of the last 18 for the Tigers.
Tight game, terrific opponent, making unbelievably difficult shots. He's perfect from the field. 13 points, as you said, 13 of the last 18. So even those 13 have come in crunch time here in the second half. I mentioned earlier what Coach Henderson told me about Davis, that he's going to be a dynamic player in the mold of Lee. But frankly, coming into this game, he had averaged 3.1 points a game. Coming into this game, he was shooting 31% from the field. So these last 2 games, Davis is exploding onto the scene.
Comes from a basketball family. Brother Devin played at Creighton. And he's the first Whitney Young kid from Chicago to commit to an Ivy League school. And Mitch Henderson and his staff, I'm sure, glad to have him. Xavier Brown, Hawks glad to have him. Fleming cleaning it up. And tied for only the 3rd time.
So Princeton switched, and they had the 6-foot Davis on Fleming. It didn't hurt in the form of a post-up, but then Fleming hurts him on the glass.
3 ties, 11 lead changes. Xavier Brown nearly grabbed that. Princeton a 61% second half. St. Joe's at under 41 this second. Alako, tough turnaround. Bodies flying everywhere. Arrow going to stay at this end if that's a tie-up. And it is.
Terrific defense by Reynolds, though. Alako is a really, really good player, and Reynolds just forced him into a super tough shot. So Princeton switches, and right there you see Fleming, perfect position with the smaller Davis on him, with the big basket to tie the game. Now, switching doesn't always hurt you immediately. It could hurt you later on the glass.
A little bit of length, a lot of quickness. What has helped St. Joe's today. In Princeton, it's been the outside shooting. 15 made threes for the Tigers. They came in averaging 9. Down to a 3-minute basketball game. Pierce, good D by Fleming. Finds Martini. Lee off the bounce and hits it.
Nothing wrong with that defense. Insane shot from deep and contested. Way beyond the college arc.
18 for Xavier Lee. Brown off the bounce. Backdoor cut. Got it back. And right to the basket. Shot clock inside 15.
Unbelievable body control to not fall on that. He was off balance.
Greer going to start it up again. Getting toward bailout time. Cam Brown with good D for Martini. Hits the 3! Are you kidding me?
That's a treat.
Inside 2 minutes. Decibel level bumping up. And Brent Hampton says foul on Greer. Only the 14th foul on St. Joe's. But I guess they're going to say, was he?
Good defense and players rising up to the occasion. Lee from NBA range with the hand in the face. And then Brown at the end of the shot clock, fading away.
Now I guess they're saying Lee was in the act. So a pair of shots coming for an almost 87% free throw shooter. And right up into that student section, 87% means a little less.
Super competitive. Players rising up. Strong defenses. Guys making plays. could watch this all day.
Lee missed them both. Those were Princeton's first 2 free throw attempts of the afternoon.
Handoff coming for Reynolds.
Got some separation. Reynolds against Lee. What a matchup. Now it's Pierce. Reynolds just so quick. Pierce is out of this game.
And that's huge because one of the reasons Princeton is undefeated is Pierce getting offensive rebounds late in the game. Watch the hesitation. Put his head back right there. And the threat of that 3 is what got Pierce out of his stance. And as I said, Pierce at the end of close games for Princeton has gotten steals, offensive rebounds, has been key. So that's a significant loss for Princeton.
Faithful on Hawk Hill, feeling the atmosphere. The balance that they have had all year for Billy Lang's squad once again present. 4 double-figure scorers. And down to what is a minute 35 left of basketball game. A win would go a long way towards setting the tone for the rest of your non-conference schedule and getting into serious conversation about being a team in March out of the Atlantic 10. Reynolds 1 for 1, making 2 for 2 on the afternoon.
He's any player you want up there, you want the 85% veteran free throw shooter.
Got them both. 12th lead change to go with 4 ties. It's electric in here. Lee, Martini, Davis ran into Fleming and still got that on the rim. A foul on St. Joe's.
Four-guard lineup for Princeton is hard to guard, and we've seen Davis just take control of this game, and that call could probably go either way.
Davis 4 for 4 on the season. Not anymore.
St. Joe's student section coming through.
Missed them both.
Boy, 0 for 4 for Princeton from the line late here. As I said, that student section's a factor.
With 2 of their best free throw shooters. Xavier Brown separating from Martini. Got stripped, but late foul. And if that's Lee, that's his 4th. It's either Lee or Peters.
And I really haven't seen Coach Henderson get upset once this year, and I've seen all the games. He was upset about that call.
Well, and I think that tells you how much this means.
Oh, it does. It means so much. Every game means a lot, but this one
in particular.
This one is a little bit more.
And Brown missed the front end. Inside of a minute to go. Xavier Lee, who's been so good this afternoon for Princeton. 18 points, 9 rebounds at the controls. Peters couldn't convert. Xavier Brown the rebound.
Coach Lang getting the play he wants.
15-second differential shot and game clock. Be the biggest home game of the Billy Lang era. Reynolds leaning in and out. Rebound spins around. Bodies crashing everywhere. Cam Brown coming out. And they foul Reynolds. Mr. Dependable with one of the biggest intangible plays. Not going to see it in the stat sheet.
You nailed it, Matt. At the end of the year, if you hear your name called as a coach, you think back to moments and plays just like what Cam Brown just did. And you used the word, the greatest ability, dependability. And Brown has done it for years here. Wow, that was a tough, hard-nosed play.
First and 2. 18 for Reynolds. Sharing a game high with Lynn Greer and then Princeton Xavier Lee. And got them both. Billy Lang going a little offense, defense with the
big thing is now not fouling.
11 seconds left. Lee right to the basket, and well, there's the foul. 7.5 to go.
Scoring with the clock stopped is the toughest thing for St. Joe's right now. Yeah, Brown right here. This could be one of the plays. If the Hawks hang on, this could be one of the plays of the year. In traffic, scrapping. But right now, because of that foul, St. Joe's is going to have to break a press, not turn it over, and make some free throws to ice this game.
Princeton 0 for 4, and Lee, cool customer this time. Jack Scott back in for Princeton. Rasheer Fleming back in as Simmons sits down.
So I would assume it's Greer, but the most important player now is your inbounder. Your inbounder has to get the ball in without a turnover.
Lee gets both.
Xavier Brown will take that. You need a point guard. You need a good decision maker. This pass may be the most important pass of the game.
And wings it to Cam Brown. And they just tied it up. Arrow will stay with St. Joe's. And honestly, that's not a terrible trade-off.
Unfortunately, you have the arrow. You got a couple seconds off the clock.
Yep.
That was important.
Timeout for Billy Lang.
St. Joe's has to have an option on this play going long because Princeton isn't going to let you just throw it in easily.
This is tough, by the way.
Oh, it's really, really tough. And there's the trap. Listen, Princeton, I told Coach Lang this, they are a great desperation pressing team. They don't have the depth to press the whole game, and you don't want people to get used to your press, but this press is what won the Furman game for Princeton. So make Reynolds your first option, and then make sure you have someone going long just to stretch out the press and give yourself a choice if they take away all the immediate options. So plan A, Reynolds. Plan B, look for someone long.
4 ties, 12 lead changes. Princeton by as many as 9, St. Joe's by as many as 7. It was billed as the best game of the day in college basketball, and it has lived up to said billing.
And your inbounder, that is your quarterback in this situation. The most underappreciated position in all of basketball. It's like the long snapper in football. You don't notice them unless they make a mistake. This pass has to get inbounded and completed. You can even hold the ball as long as you avoid another jump ball situation tie. Let's see if someone goes long.
And they foul Reynolds immediately. Half a second goes off the clock.
Really, I'm surprised Princeton allowed the inbounds and allowed it to Reynolds. But the reason they did it, they wanted to foul quick and give themselves a chance to get the ball back with as much time as possible. But again, St. Joe's, I'm sure, pleased that Reynolds was the one to catch it and get sent to the line.
Every part of the tin on that free throw.
So if he should miss this, if he makes it, St. Joe's is going to win. If he misses it, we'll see if Coach Lang elects to foul. I would. You see people make threes at the buzzer every night. You don't see people make the free throw, get a rebound. But it's a moot point right now for the Hawks. So once again, don't foul. Put your whole defense back.
St. Joe's by 4. Lee to finish this out. And off target. St. Joe's in the biggest home game of the Billy Lang era outlasts Princeton for a 5th straight win.